Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'm going to share my thoughts on Shenmue episode 12, which is the second to last episode. And this video is going to go up Saturday morning, so that means the final episode is going to air later tonight. I think it airs at like either 12 midnight or 12:30 on Adult Swim. So, I'm probably going to release my review for the final episode sometime next week, not on the Saturday. We'll get to that soon enough, because I'm going to be dying to watch it, especially after watching this one. Because, the last episode ended on a cliffhanger with Ren and Ryu going after Odysee. Of course, they had found him, and then he got captured by the Yellowheads, and they're going to turn him over to D, and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And what happened was they made their way back to the Yellowheads' headquarters to try and rescue Odysee, but that big guy, again, forgive me, I'm not good with the names, man. I do know, like, Ryu, Ren, Joy, Shenmue, D, Odysee, all them, Zhu Ying, but the big guy, I forget his fucking name, but he cornered them at the end. He's like, oh, you boys are in trouble now. We got you in our traps. And I love, too, when he's walking. Like, you hear him, he's like, boom, 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 as I'm shaking the table for you, too. But you hear, like, the sound effects of him walking. I fucking love that. So, they're able to escape. And there's a side plot going on, which started in the last episode, with Wong, who had found out that they had captured Ryu and Ren, and he wants to go rescue them. And he has like this inner monologue. Well, actually, he tells Joy, but you sort of get flashbacks of him, stealing and living this life of crime. But he wants to be better than that. And he's trying to convince Joy to help him. And she's like, we don't need to help them. But then she has the same thing going on in her head where she remembers, the bonding she had with Ryu and therefore wants to go save him. So we have those two coming to the rescue as Ryu and Ren are, avoiding the big oaf, which is funny because obviously they're faster than him, so they keep avoiding him. It's pretty cool. Like, they're running down the stairs and they just jump from one area to the other, and the big guy's trying to do it too, and he like falls on his ass, and you hear him banging around. And they have, I'll show you some screenshots. They have like this thing, which I imagine also appears in the video games, right? They gotta walk across the plank, and so they walk across the plank, right? And then they move the plank so he can't cross. So I love that. Here's the stairs, like, they can jump down real quick, and the big guy just like hits the wall. And then eventually, Joy agrees to go with Wong, and we get this shot too, which, Joy is fucking beautiful, man. There's a lot of great shots of her in this episode, just with it all going on, and just, rescuing Wong on the motorcycle. And also, there's these goons who are following them, and she's on a motorcycle, but this one guy steals another passerby's bicycle and starts pedaling, and there's like a running gag where he keeps like getting close to them, but then, they speed up on the motorcycle. He's like, oh, I'm out of breath. And then eventually the guys who he was with, his other gang members, show up in a car. And he's like, you guys had a car all along? What do you mean? I've been pedaling, huffing and puffing here. So I thought that was great. They eventually come across this guy who they fight. And I saw some of the discourse online where they said he's one of the more difficult bosses in the video game, and this is one of my criticisms of the episode. And I said last time that this probably should have been like a 24-episode series to expand more on important details, because Ryu beats this fucker in like a minute. He looks like a complete badass, right? And Ryu like kicks his ass, and everyone in the comments and all the threads I saw online were saying, this is one of the more difficult bosses in the video games. How the fuck did Ryu beat him so quickly? So, Wong and Joy eventually get captured because they walk right to the front door of the Yellowheads headquarters. But Joy agrees to have Wong like go and rescue Ryu and Ren, and because he's a little kid, she's like, "Oh, go into the air vent and you'll go find them." And he does, and then she gets knocked out, and they throw her in a jail cell. And actually, with Wong walking in the air vents, he comes across Odysee, and the flamboyant guy comes in there again, and Odysee's like, all right, kid, just push me, because he's in a wheelchair. Just push me. And he's like pushing him, running people over in his wheelchair. And Wong, being in one of the air vents, sees a bunch of rats, and he like throws the rats on the flamboyant guy's head. You see, they all fall on his head. And like his whole thing is he's a neat freak. And all these rats are on him. He's having a heart attack. So I thought that was cool. This is them rescuing Joy. Which, let me show you this too. When they knock her out, you know, because I'm like the Joy simp here. When they knock her out, she's lying down. It's like, holy fuck, dude. Look at her. She's got it all going on. But, you know, Ryu and Ren eventually catch up to Joy and rescue her. And they make their way to find out where, you know, Yolanda Zoo is. And they say he's on the roof, to which they're having the transaction. They keep referring to it as. And then they find the flamboyant guy again, because he's like, I cut you guys out. He has like this knife. He's like, I'll stab you. And they beat him up and they handcuff him to the rail there, and then they throw a fucking garbage can on his head. But they make their way to the roof, and they see he's already one step ahead of him, but it's Lon D in his helicopter, and he's got Yolanda Zoo, and you get this epic stare down. This is how the episode ends, with the two of them staring each other down. And we get the final episode, like I said, tonight at either 12 midnight or 12:30 on Adult Swim. I forget the exact time, but here's different images of the two of them. But yeah, this is a great episode. A lot of shit went down in it. That's why I kind of wish, you know, this might have been better with a 24-episode series, so it could have been, like, spaced out a little better. But for what they've done, I've really enjoyed the series. I can't wait to see what happens next. I wonder if we'll get a season 2, because, you know, I theorized in the last episode that I didn't think that Ryu was going to actually face Lon D, because I didn't think there was enough time, but it appears that it's set up for that. I mean, I'd imagine, because that's how it ends right there, Lon D's going to get away in the helicopter, and then somehow they're going to find out where he is, and then storm in there and you know, save Yolanda Zoo and fight Lon D. So it'll be cool to see how that ends. And I love the camaraderie between Ryu and Ren. The two of them are like working together, like bros. I love Joy, man. I mean, she's really cool. Like how she had the whole thing where, oh, I don't want to help them, but then she thinks in her head like, oh yeah, that Ryu's pretty cool after all, and she teams up with Wong because he has his own motives where he doesn't want to live life being a thug his whole life. So you know, I like how all the characters have grown and developed so far, and I wonder if we're gonna see like Zhu Ying again. And also another thing too. Because this fight went by way too fucking fast, which is what a lot of the commenters online were saying. Let me show you. I'll just get rid of the webcam. But in the midst of this battle, Ryu is remembering the 4 teachers who taught him the 4 principles of Wuda. So I thought that was cool. They brought all that back from the previous episodes. That was his whole quest in Hong Kong to learn about the Wuda. But, yeah, I can see why. I guess because that guy looks like a complete badass, and Ryu beats him in like 2 hits. So overall, very good. I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode, in the final episode. So stay tuned for that. Normally, I've done these reviews on Saturday to, like, I guess, hype people up for the next episode. But I'll probably release my review for the final episode sometime middle of the week, either, like, Tuesday or Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later.